Have you ever tried to catch a butterfly with your hands? The more you chase it, the more it flies away. But when you sit still and quiet, sometimes it lands on you. This is exactly how attraction works. Most boys and men are told the same thing over and over again. Buy her flowers. Text her all the time. Tell her how much you like her. Do whatever you can to make her like you. So what do most guys do? They give, they chase, they try really, really hard. They think, if I just show her how much I care, she'll choose me. But guess what usually happens? It doesn't work. In fact, it often does the opposite. She pulls away, she becomes cold, she starts to ignore him, and he's left feeling confused, hurt, and asking, what did I do wrong? I gave her everything. But here's a secret most people never tell you. Attraction doesn't grow when you chase. It grows when you stand still. It grows when you're already full inside. Let's go back to the butterfly for a second. The butterfly isn't scared of you. It's just not attracted to fast, loud, desperate energy. But when you're calm, when you sit still, you become peaceful, quiet, and strong. That's when the butterfly notices you. That's when it wants to land on you. Women are the same way. They are drawn to calm, confident energy. They feel safe when a man isn't rushing or trying too hard. They are attracted to someone who doesn't need them, but who chooses them. Here's the problem with always chasing. When you chase, you're saying this without words. I don't think I'm enough. I need you to like me so I can feel good about myself. I need to prove that I'm worthy. That energy doesn't feel good. It feels heavy. It feels clingy. It feels like pressure. Most women won't say it out loud, but they start to lose interest fast when they feel this. Not because you're a bad guy, but because your energy is saying, I'm not whole without you. And here's the truth, brother. You are whole. You don't have to chase. You don't have to prove. You just have to be. Be strong. Be calm. Be still. Be focused on your own path. That's the beginning of the mystery effect. When you stop trying to be chosen, you start being the one who chooses. So next time you feel the urge to chase, stop. Take a breath. Ask yourself, am I trying to catch the butterfly, or am I becoming the flower it wants to land on? Now here's the big question. Do you want to see what happens when you stop chasing and start leading with your presence instead? Have you ever noticed how the loudest people often get ignored, but the quiet ones make you wonder what they're thinking? It's not the noise that pulls people in. It's the silence, the mystery, the calm that makes you look twice. Now imagine if you could use that same energy in attraction. Let's talk about absence, but in a way you've never heard before. Imagine you walk into a room every day, and every day there's this one person always there. They're always smiling. They're always giving you stuff. They're always asking you questions. They're always there. At first it feels nice, but after a while, it starts to feel heavy, like they're too close, like there's no space to breathe. Now picture this. One day, they're not there. Suddenly the room feels different. It feels empty, even a little strange. You start to wonder, where did they go? What are they doing? Why do I kind of miss them? That, my friend, is the power of quiet absence. Here's what most men don't know. You don't have to say a single word to make a woman miss you. You don't need to play tricks. You don't need to post cool stuff online. to look important. You just need to create space. Because when you're always there, texting, calling, chasing, she never has time to feel your value. She never has space to miss you. But when you step back, not to play games, but to live your life, you become more powerful. You let her imagination do the work. You let her wonder. You give her time to feel your absence. And in that space, attraction grows. Why this works so well? Think about a tree. If you water a tree every second of every day, it drowns. It doesn't grow faster. It dies. But if you give it water and then step away, the roots go deep. It becomes strong. Women are not trees, but relationships are like trees. They need time. They need space. They need light and breath and air between the moments. Your absence is the air that lets attraction grow. Here's what this is not. It's not about ignoring her. It's not about punishing her. It's not about making her chase you just for your ego. It's about you. It's about choosing yourself, choosing your goals, choosing your peace, choosing your day without asking for permission. And when you do that, she starts to feel something she didn't before. Curiosity, desire, longing. Because now, you're not just another guy. You're not always available. You're rare. And rare things, they get noticed. They get remembered. They get wanted. Why chasing kills? Desire. Have you ever tried to catch a butterfly? The harder you run after it, the faster it flies away. But when you sit still, it sometimes lands on your shoulder. This is exactly how attraction works. And today, I'll tell you why chasing her is the fastest way to make her lose interest. Let's play a little game. Imagine you're holding a ball. You throw it to your friend. They throw it back. You smile. They smile. It's fun, right? But what if you threw the ball and your friend just stood there? No throwback, no movement, nothing. You'd stop playing. That's how chasing works in love. If you're always throwing the ball, texting first, calling, asking, giving, showing up, and she never throws it back, it stops being a connection. It starts being a chase, and chasing feels lonely. They think if they just try harder, if they show more love, if they give more gifts, if they say more sweet words, she'll want them more. But no, that's not how this works. Chasing doesn't build love. It breaks respect. When a man chases too much, he gives up something very important, his self-respect. And without self-respect, there's no mystery, no value, no attraction. Want to be wanted? Here's what works instead. Stop trying to prove that you're good enough. Start knowing that you already are. You don't chase when you know your worth. You invite, you lead, you offer once, and then you let her decide if she wants to play too. Because a woman will never fall for a man who puts her on a throne. But she will feel something powerful for a man who puts himself first. A man who knows that his time, his attention, and his energy are valuable. Here's a secret women won't say out loud. They test, they wait, they watch. They want to see if you'll break your own rules for them. They want to know if you'll give up your life, your purpose, your strength, just to please them. And when you do, they lose interest, fast. But when you don't, when you stand firm, stay calm, and live your life with peace and direction, they feel something powerful. Respect. And once a woman respects you, desire follows. Let's make it simple. Don't chase butterflies. Build a garden. Let them fly to you. Be the man who doesn't run after attention. Be the man who creates a life so full, so exciting, so strong, that people want to be around it, especially her. Why your purpose is the secret magnet. What happens when a man forgets his mission? He becomes lost in her world, and she stops feeling anything for him. But when a man stays focused on his purpose, he becomes a magnet. Today, I'll show you why women don't want to be your whole world. They want to join a man who already has one. Close your eyes for a second. Now picture a man standing on a mountain. He's strong. He knows where he's going. He's not waiting for anyone to save him. He's climbing because he loves the climb. That man has purpose. That man is powerful. Now picture another man. He's walking in circles. He keeps texting a girl. He keeps checking if she replied. He's sad. He feels empty unless she gives him attention. Which man do you think women are drawn to? Exactly, it's the one with the mountain. Here's the truth. Women are not attracted to a man who gives up his dreams. They're attracted to a man who has dreams and follows them no matter what. Because purpose creates power. Purpose creates direction, and direction creates desire. When a woman sees you walking your own path, something amazing happens. She wants to walk beside you. Not in front of you, not dragging you, not pulling you away. She wants to join the adventure. She wants to be part of your world, not be your world. Here's what most guys don't get. When you make her your only focus, it sounds romantic at first. But soon it becomes pressure. She feels it, and she starts to wonder. Does he have anything else going on in his life? She might not say it out loud, but deep inside, she starts to lose that feeling of spark. Because the spark doesn't live in being obsessed with someone. The spark lives in mystery, in movement, in growth. And all of that comes from purpose. So what is purpose really? It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's your goals, your path, your mission, your deep why. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's getting strong at the gym. Maybe it's leading your family or building something that helps others. Whatever it is, you can't let it go. Not for love, not for fear, not even for her. Because when you drop your purpose for a woman, you stop being the man she was drawn to in the first place. Here's the truth no one teaches you. Women fall in love with men who are going somewhere, not with men who are waiting for someone else to give them meaning. She doesn't want to be your whole reason for living. She wants to add to your life, not be your life. And when you live with that clarity, when your purpose is strong, when you're building something bigger than both of you, she feels it. And that feeling, it makes you unforgettable. Your purpose is your power. It's your anchor when emotions rise. It's your light when things feel dark. And it's the energy that draws her in without you trying. Why she values you more when you're rare. Why do diamonds cost more than rocks? Because you can find rocks anywhere. But diamonds, they're rare, hard to get, hard to forget. What if I told you that same rule applies to you? Let's play a quick game. Imagine this. You're walking down the street. You see a water bottle stand. The man says, "Free water, take as much as you want." So you take one, maybe even two. But do you feel excited? Not really. Now imagine this instead. You're walking in the desert. Your throat is dry. You haven't had water in hours. Then you see it. A single cold bottle of water. Just one. Now how do you feel? You would do anything to have it. You'd value it like gold. That is scarcity. And that's what happens when you're not always available. Scarcity equals value. Let me break it down. When you're always texting her, always calling, always replying fast, always trying to see her, she gets used to you. It's not special anymore. It becomes normal. But when you have your own life, when you're focused, when you're not always around, something crazy happens in her mind. She starts to miss you. She starts to wonder what you're doing. She starts to feel your value rise because you're no longer just there. You're rare. And rare things? They're powerful. Why this works without playing games? Now listen carefully. We're not talking about pretending. We're not talking about ignoring her to make her chase. That's fake. That's childish. We're talking about living your real life. You go to the gym. You work on your goals. You spend time alone. You spend time with friends. You build something that matters to you. And because of that, you're not glued to your phone. You're not checking messages every minute. That's not a trick. That's maturity. That's focus. And that's attractive. What she secretly feels. Here's what happens in her mind when you're not always available. Why hasn't he texted me yet? Is he thinking of me? Who is he with? What is he doing right now? Those thoughts don't come when you're constantly chasing. They come when you're calmly living, confidently moving, quietly growing. She starts to lean in. She starts to invest. She starts to want more of you. And all of that happened because of your absence. Less is more. Here's the secret. The less you give away your time, the more people value it. When you say yes to everyone, you say no to yourself. But when you guard your energy, when you protect your peace, you become someone with boundaries. Boundaries equals respect. Respect equals attraction. Women are drawn to men who have self-respect. And self-respect means you don't give everything to everyone. You choose wisely. You give your time to people who earn it. That includes her. Real-world example. Think about your favorite song. Now imagine playing it on repeat for 3 hours straight. You'd get tired of it. But if you only heard it once a day, it would stay magical. Same goes for you. Don't be on repeat. Be rare. Be refreshing. Be valuable. Being available all the time doesn't make her love you more. It makes her take you for granted. But when you live a full life, when you're sometimes gone, when your energy is limited and precious, you become like that cold water bottle in the desert. Unforgettable. Now here's the question. Want to know how emotional calmness makes you 10 times more powerful in her eyes? The calm man wins. Emotional mastery is magnetic. Imagine a wild storm. Lightning, thunder, trees shaking. And right in the middle, a mountain. Still, unmoving, unshaken. Now ask yourself, do you want to be the storm or the mountain? Because women don't fall for chaos. They fall for the one who stays calm when everything else goes wild. Have you ever seen a man lose control? Maybe he yelled. Maybe he cried in frustration. Maybe he chased after someone who didn't care. And guess what happened? He looked weak. He lost power. He lost her respect. Now let's flip it. Have you ever seen a man stay calm? even when someone tested him, even when life got tough, even when a girl tried to push his buttons. That man looked powerful. That man looked in control. That man looked attractive. Why calm men are so powerful? Here's the truth. When a man can control his emotions, he becomes dangerous in a good way. Why? Because nothing shakes him. You can't scare him. You can't guilt trip him. You can't pull him out of his frame. He stays cool. He thinks clearly. He speaks slowly. And that makes women feel something special. They feel safe. Not safe like a bodyguard. Safe like, this man won't break when things get real. Women secretly test for this. Most guys don't know this, but women test men emotionally without even thinking about it. They want to see, can he handle pressure? Will he chase me if I get distant? Will he get jealous if I talk to someone else? If you get mad, if you panic, if you blow up your phone or act clingy, you fail the test. But if you stay grounded, if you smile and keep doing your thing, if you don't flinch, you pass. Not with words, with energy. And when you pass, she feels it deep inside. She respects you. She wants you more. Because she knows you're not a boy, you're a man. Control, not suppression. Let's be clear. Stoic wisdom isn't about hiding emotions. It's about handling them. Feel your emotions, but don't let them run your life. If you're angry, take a walk. If you're sad, breathe deeply. If you're upset, pause and think. Don't explode. Don't react. Respond with power. Respond with purpose. That's what makes her lean in and say, there's something about him. I can't shake it. Stillness is rare. Think about today's world. Most people are in a rush. Most men are desperate for attention. Most guys freak out when they don't get a text back. But you're different. You're calm, you're focused, you're solid. That stillness makes you stand out. It's the mystery. It's the magnet. And she feels it every time she talks to you. Don't be the wave. Be the ocean. Waves come and go. They crash, they rage, they change every second. But the ocean, it's deep. It's wide. It's endless. That's who you are when you master your emotions. She won't understand it fully, but she'll feel it. She'll feel drawn to your depth, to your peace, to your power, not because you tried to impress her, but because you're not trying at all. Real confidence starts in the dark, not on the stage. Think about a lion. Not when it's roaring, not when it's hunting, but when it's just sitting, quiet, still, not trying to prove anything. That's real power. The kind that doesn't need to shout. Now think about you. What if the reason she doesn't chase you is because you're too busy chasing applause? Let's fix that. Most guys think confidence means being loud, wearing big clothes, driving a shiny car, flexing money, muscles, or followers. But guess what? That's not confidence. That's decoration. Confidence isn't a costume. It's a quiet force inside of you. It's built in the dark when no one's watching. And when you have it, you don't need to prove anything. You just are. What is real confidence? Let's break it down simply. Confidence means you believe in yourself, not because someone clapped for you, not because someone called you handsome, not because a girl smiled at your joke, but because you know who you are. You've done the hard work. You've failed and got back up. You've stayed true to your word. You've built something real in your life. Confidence isn't built on praise. It's built on proof, not proof for others. Proof for yourself. How real confidence is built. Here's the secret. Confidence grows every time you keep your promise to yourself. Finish something you start. Get up early even when it's hard. Work on your goals even when no one is clapping. Speak with honesty even when it's scary. It grows when you're alone, when you're tired, when things get tough, but you still show up. That's real confidence. That's inner fire. Why this attracts her like magic. Now here's where the mystery comes in. A man with real confidence doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't rush. Why? Because he knows what he brings to the table. He doesn't need to prove it. He doesn't need to say it. She can feel it. And that feeling makes her curious. It makes her wonder, who is this man? It makes her want to be around your energy. You're not performing. You're not pretending. You're just being you. And that's powerful. Stop seeking claps. Start earning self-respect. Let's be honest. If you're doing things just to impress people, you'll always be tired. You'll feel empty when they don't notice. You'll feel lost when they stop clapping. You'll feel weak when she pulls away. But if you're doing things for you, because you want to grow, learn, and lead, then you don't care who's watching. You're happy with your own progress, and that makes you unshakable. And women love that energy, not because it's flashy, but because it's rare. The silent power she can't explain. Confidence isn't loud. It's in how you walk, how you breathe, how you look someone in the eye. It's in how you say, no. How you move on when someone doesn't see your value. How you stay calm when someone tries to test you. It's not in the noise, it's in the stillness. And when you carry that kind of calm power, she notices, even if she can't explain why. So here's the truth. Confidence isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows. When you do hard things, alone, with no applause, build that. And you won't need to chase. Because she'll feel your strength from across the room and wonder, why do I want him so badly, even when he's not trying? Ready to unlock another secret she'll never tell you. Picture this. Two men are standing in the same storm. The rain is loud. The wind is wild. People are running. One man is yelling, panicking, soaked and lost. The other man, he's just standing there, calm, still, focused. Same storm, different power. Now guess which man she's drawn to. Let's talk about the real magnet most men overlook. Emotional control. Here's the truth most guys don't know. The calmer you are, the more power you have. Not just in life, but in love too. Women don't want a man who loses his cool over little things. They don't want a man who cries over attention or explodes over silence. They want a man who can stay calm in chaos, not cold, not fake, but strong inside. That strength, it makes you mysterious, safe, and attractive. What is emotional control? Let's say it's simple. Emotional control is when you don't let your feelings boss you around. It doesn't mean you don't feel things. It means you don't act crazy just because something upset you. It's like holding the steering wheel in your mind. Feel angry? You breathe. Feel jealous? You stay still. Feel rejected? You walk forward anyway. That kind of control, it's rare. And rare means valuable. Why losing control kills attraction. Let's look at the flip side. when you chase her too hard, when you text her 10 times with no answer, when you beg or argue or pout, you're telling her something. You're saying, I can't handle my own emotions. You're showing her she's in charge of your mood. That's not attractive. That's pressure. She starts to feel like your babysitter, not your woman. And no woman wants to feel that way. How calm energy pulls her in. Now imagine this. You're feeling nervous, but you don't show it. You're excited, but you don't overdo it. She cancels plans and you say, no worries, take care. You keep your peace. You stay in control. Suddenly she's wondering why you're so stable. She's asking herself, why doesn't he chase? Why isn't he upset? Who is this guy? And that curiosity, it creates the mystery effect. She feels something powerful, but can't explain it. Don't be a fire, be the fireplace. Let me give you an image. Emotions are fire. If you're a man with no control, you are the fire. You burn fast. You get wild. You destroy things. But if you master your emotions, you become the fireplace. Same heat, but safe, contained, powerful. Women want that. Not a wildfire, but a fire they can sit next to. That's what emotional control gives you. Warmth, power, peace. And peace is sexy. How to master emotional calm. So how do you become this kind of man? It's simple, but not easy. Practice silence when you're angry. Go for walks when your heart is racing. Talk to yourself kindly when you feel hurt. Sit with your feelings. Don't run. Don't text just to feel better. Breathe instead. You train yourself like a warrior trains his sword. Quiet, careful, one moment at a time. When a man can't control his emotions, he loses more than just peace. He loses respect. He loses mystery. He loses attraction. But when a man stays calm in chaos, he becomes unforgettable. Because in a world full of noise, his silence says everything. Imagine walking into a room. One guy is showing off his watch. Another is bragging about his car. A third is talking loud, laughing harder than needed. And in the corner, there's one man. He's quiet. He's chill. He's not showing anything off. But guess who she keeps glancing at? The one who doesn't need to prove a thing. Let's talk about why quiet confidence makes you magnetic and how to build it. Here's something many men don't realize. Real confidence doesn't shout. It whispers, and that whisper gets heard the loudest. Most people think confidence means being the loudest guy in the room. The one with the biggest muscles, the nicest shoes, the flashiest life. But that's not real. That's just noise. True confidence is quiet. It comes from inside. And when it's real, you don't need to say a word. Where real confidence comes from. Let's break it down like this. Real confidence comes from what you've built inside you. From your skills, from your habits, from the way you handle tough moments, from doing the hard things when no one is watching. It's not about your car, or your body, or your bank. It's about who you are when no one is clapping. Women can feel fake confidence instantly. Now here's something wild. Women are emotional detectives. They can smell fake confidence from a mile away. When you try too hard, when you brag or chase or try to impress her with stuff, she sees it as fear wearing a costume. And that's not attractive. It's needy. It's hollow. But when you're relaxed, when you don't care who's looking, when you know your worth even in silence, that's rare, that's mysterious, that's magnetic. Why you don't have to prove anything. Think about this. Lions don't roar to prove they're lions. They just walk. And everything around them reacts. That's how your energy should feel. You don't need to chase women. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need to post selfies every day. You need to walk like you belong, not in arrogance, but in certainty. And that comes from building yourself daily. Not for others, but for you. How to build this kind of confidence. Here's how you make it real. Set small goals and crush them. Learn new skills without showing off. Talk to yourself like someone you respect. Stay quiet in rooms where people fight for attention. Keep your promises to yourself, even the small ones. Every time you do that, your soul grows stronger. And that strength, it shows in your walk, in your eyes, in your stillness. Why this makes you irresistible. Women don't want to carry your ego. They want to rest in your confidence. When you don't need attention, you get it. When you don't beg for love, you become lovable. It's crazy, but it's true. The man who needs nothing becomes the one who gets everything. Because she doesn't want to be your prize. She wants to be part of your mission. And if you don't have to prove your value, that's the moment she realizes it's real. The final secret. She'll never say, but always hopes you'll know. There's one thing she will never say out loud. She might smile at your jokes. She might like your photos. She might even say she misses you. But deep down, there's a hidden test she's giving you. A secret she's hoping you pass. And if you do, she won't just want you. She'll need you. Let's talk about that final secret. Here's the truth no one teaches you. Sometimes what a woman says isn't what she wants. Not because she's lying, but because her heart speaks in feelings, not words. And deep down, she doesn't want a man who's always chasing her. She wants a man she can respect, a man she can feel safe with, a man who knows his value even if she pulls away. The hidden test she gives without saying a word. Here's the wild part. She might test you without knowing it. She might take longer to text back. She might act distant. She might talk about other guys. Not to be cruel, but to see what you'll do. Will you get upset? Will you start chasing? Will you lose your cool? Or will you stay calm, focused, and unmoved? That's the real test. And only a man with self-control, only a man who lives from purpose, only a man who doesn't break under pressure will pass it. Why you must never break your frame. Your frame is the way you carry yourself. It's how you handle life. When you break your frame to chase her, to beg for love, to win her attention, you lose her attraction because she was never looking for a man who needs her. She was looking for a man she can trust, a man who leads, a man who walks away when it's time, a man who doesn't lose himself to keep her. Attraction isn't about being perfect, it's about being unshakable. You don't have to be rich or famous or have a six-pack. You just have to be rooted. A tree doesn't run after the wind. It stands tall and the wind comes to it. That's how you should be. Rooted in your peace, your power, your purpose. Because a woman doesn't want to feel like she's leading the story. She wants to be led by a man who knows where he's going. what this mystery effect really means. The mystery effect isn't about hiding things. It's about holding back nothing except your need for approval. It's about being real and quiet and calm. She'll never say it, but she's watching how you act when you don't get your way. That's when she knows this man is different. And that's when she starts chasing you. Be the man who doesn't fold. In the end, the mystery effect is simple. Don't chase. Don't overgive. Don't break your calm. Don't forget your purpose. Don't ever lose your self-respect. Be the man who doesn't fold, even when he really wants her. And she'll feel something stronger than love. Respect. And with respect comes attraction that lasts. Final words to remember. You don't need tricks. You don't need lines. You don't need to be anyone else. You need to build yourself every day. So strong, so calm, so solid, that your presence alone makes her heart race. The real mystery? She's not craving someone who gives her the world. She's craving someone who already is the world. And that, my brother, is the man you were born to become.